Hello, my name is Cassandra Rodriguez, and I'm a senior at the University of Houston. I am in the College of Education program, and I will be receiving my degree in EC through 6 Generalist. Growing up, school had never been easy for me. I always had many obstacles which discouraged me in my educational years. I developed Tourette syndrome in 3rd grade, which is a neurological disorder that affected my abilities cognitively and physically. I received a lot of support from my family and the teachers who wanted to see me succeed in life. There was a time where educators told me that they did not think I would graduate from high school because of how much I was struggling academically. You can say I was and am a very determined student. When it came to education, I had to work harder than others did. Having that hard work ethic instilled in me has led me to where I am today, which is a few months away from graduation. I am a Mexican American born and raised here in Houston, Texas. Growing up, I did not have Spanish instilled in me. My parents would speak to my brother and I in Spanish in hopes that we would just kind of pick up on it. But it never really stuck. I only learned the Spanish language in high school when I had to take a Spanish class. It was one of my greatest obstacles learning Spanish, believe it or not. I remember my mom couldn't even help me because the way she spoke Spanish was considered informal versus the way we were being taught in school. I remember having to present and speak in front of the class on several occasions in Spanish. We learned to read, write, and speak all throughout the year. I vaguely remember learning about the different cultures and the origination of different Spanish languages and how they differ from one another. Everyone would pick a Spanish-speaking country and learn the linguistics and culture of the one that they chose. I chose Mexico because I wanted the extra credit for dressing up the part. I remember my aunt going to Mexico and buying me a dress to wear for my presentation. The only time I ever implemented Spanish in my vocabulary or everyday life is when my grandma would come stay with us over the summer. My grandma was not educated and she stopped going to school when she was about 6 years old. In her time, school wasn't as important as working and helping your family and providing for them. Because of this, she never expanded her language. I would spend most of the time with her in the summer, and we would sit down on the couch, or she would be in her rocking chair, and we would watch this novella called Rebecca. And she would be usually sewing something for my family or I. I grew loving it because it was our thing. And those summers, she would tell the craziest stories to me about my dad and all the trouble he would give her when she was a teenager. My grandma's last years were much quieter as she aged. She didn't tell stories anymore, and she often forgot who we were. Having that time spent with her and growing up was a true blessing, and now they're just memories that I will always carry with me. Even today, when I go visit my extended family in Eagle Pass, Texas, my family feels more comfortable speaking in Spanish, even to my brother and I, who don't even know the language like we wish we did. Hearing my family members gather around the table and laughing and talking in Spanish, it feels like home. You get a sense of warmth and love when you go visit family. I think that there's a lot of culture and history behind every Spanish speaker, and they're proud of their roots. I believe students who are English language learners should receive the uttermost support from teachers who, when developing their English linguistic skills. ELL students feel safe when they are speaking their native language, and it is our job as teachers to make them feel safe when developing a new language. In order to best advocate for our ELL students, it is crucial that we as teachers develop a relationship with the students and the parents. When you develop relationships, you will grow to know their culture, their background, where they stand academically, and meet their needs individually. As a future teacher, I know the significance behind developing these relationships with students and parents. When I initially developed Tourette's in 3rd grade, I had a teacher who couldn't see past my disability. And she focused on the students who were giving her commending scores on the TAKS test, and she neglected to teach me. I was struggling the most my first year of developing Tourette's, and I needed all the help I could get. There were multiple years I had to face teachers like my 3rd grade teacher who gave up on me easily or punished me without questioning why I was failing these classes. Getting to know me as a student was always the last resort for those teachers. The ones who knew me the best were my art teachers. And throughout my educational years, I was able to express myself the most through artwork, and it brought out my character and my persona. These art teachers built relationships with me that no other teacher would. And having these relationships built motivates me to be the best teacher I can for all my students. These memorable experiences have given me reason to want to teach children and to provide a positive learning experience for each individual child. I firmly believe every child deserves an opportunity to be and feel successful, and I want to be the kind of educator that I needed when I was younger.